Thank you. Okay, so I'm Liz Harrison. I am affiliated with the Center for Circadian Biology. So what I'm going to talk to you about is the effect of light at night on human health. And I just want to introduce myself by saying I started out doing grad work at UCSD, studying the effects of light no brighter than starlight or moonlight on the circadian system, the organization of the circadian system in small mammals. So basically, I studied jet lag in hamsters. And I did that for a couple of years. And then for the last 10 years, what I've been doing is focusing on light-based interventions to improve health and performance and safety in shift working populations who get a lot of light at night. So just a little background on what circadian rhythms are. So because it's just a little hard to see, my slides are all dark, so sorry. But because of the Earth's rotation on its axis, we as organisms experience periods of light and periods of dark every 24 hours. So our physiology has adapted to cycle with things going up and things going down with the changes in the light. So we have things like rhythms in body temperature, blood pressure, alertness, hormones, and so on. Even at a cellular level, proteins in cells, in all the cells in your body, in all the organs in your body, all have rhythms. And how those rhythms get coordinated is you have a master clock in the center of your brain in your hypothalamus, and that master clock uses light information to determine what time of day it is. So our systems are exquisitely sensitive to very small amounts of light. They are particularly sensitive at night. So we are designed to detect light, particularly at the beginning of the night and at the end of the light. So this is different than the visual system. This is not rods and cones in the visual system and going to the back of the head. This is a separate set of specialized cells. They're retinal ganglion cells. It's a subset of them in your eye. And if you put them in a dish and shine light on them, they fire. So they're intrinsically photosensitive cells, and they send a signal right to the center of your brain. And then that's where all these rhythms get coordinated. So the system, your circadian system, prefers or responds most to bright light versus dim, and blue light versus red, and longer light versus shorter light. And again, timing matters. So it responds a lot more at night, and particularly even more so at the beginning and the end. So what it's doing is basically encoding day length, which is adaptive in terms of predation and other things for an organism. And so your system is picking up this cue every day and then adjusting. So if we put you in a dark cave for 3 days, not threatening you, but if we put you in a cave for 3 days, and all these rhythms would cycle by themselves, but what they use is the light to organize. So if they were cycling by themselves in the dark, they become out of alignment with each other over time. So every day, your body is using light information to determine what time of day it is, when you should be sleeping, when you should be eating and performing and all that. So your body prefers bright blue, white light, daylight in the day, and dark, nothing, dim at night. But we messed that up. So electricity is basically sending the wrong time of day signals all the time to our body. So the circadian system takes a long time to adjust. So it takes a day for every hour of extra light that you get. So every hour you're shifting your clock, it takes a day for your body to adjust. And actually, exquisite work in rodents shows that different organs adjust at different rates, different proteins in your cells adjust at different rates. So that's jet lag. But there's another thing we do, which is called social jet lag, which is when you stay up 3 hours extra working on something, you're getting 3 extra hours of light. So you're basically flying yourself to Hawaii without getting to go to Hawaii. And it causes disruption in your system, which accumulates over time. The most common version of this is like going out on the weekend and then trying to do Monday morning. So as you can imagine, based on how hard it is for the system to adjust, there are health consequences of constantly giving the system different cues. So there's accumulating evidence for increased risks of light at night causing a whole host of chronic disorders, metabolic disorders, immune disorders, mood disorders. And in 2007, the World Health Organization published a paper citing light at night in shift work as a probable carcinogen. So we're going to add cancer into the mix now. And so there's been more work done on all of these, but the 3 studies I want to talk about, I picked for this audience because I thought you guys would be particularly interested. Is there a pointer? No? Okay. All right. So this is a study of 2 populations of the same historically hunter-gatherer population in Argentina, but they're 2 subgroups. This is a satellite image. You can't really see it. One of them has access to electricity, and the other one does not. But they're very near each other, and they're measured at the same time. So what investigators did is they measured their sleep, they measured their hormone melatonin. So melatonin is supposed to come up a couple hours before you go to sleep under normal conditions and stay elevated throughout the night. But light at night acutely suppresses melatonin. So light at night impairs your sleep by waking you up, shifting your timing, and suppressing melatonin. So they measured melatonin and sleep in these different populations, and what they found is this group of individuals was sleeping an hour longer every night. They were sleeping an hour earlier as well, so their melatonin and their sleep was lined up with the natural day-night cycle. What they also found is that in winter, when the length of night increased, the amount of sleep and melatonin both extended. So the biological internal night extended to meet the environmental night. Unfortunately, this then got developed. And so just a couple of years ago, they measured it again, and now these folks are sleeping a whole hour less in a decade because of light at night. This other cool study I wanted to talk about is about camping. So a bunch of university students got paid to be in a study where they had their sleep and melatonin and light exposure patterns measured before and after they went camping. So I'd want to do that study, but not at the school that I was at. But anyway, what they did is they measured their sleep, and what they found is that during camping, the timing of their sleep and the timing of their melatonin shifted to match the natural daylight cycle within a couple of days. And then the other thing that they found was that in the winter, when they repeated it, it extended again. So the length of the biological night inside the humans extended by having longer melatonin and longer sleep. So the cool thing about that is we haven't totally permanently messed up our system with light at night. We are capable of adjusting to the natural cycle, but we have to stop messing with the system. I want to show you the light data from that study because it's pretty cool. This is electrical lighting. This is natural light. This is time of day, so this is noon. And you can't see these, but this is the intensity log scale. And what I want to show you is, first of all, you can see light across the entire day, basically, in the university students before they go camping. And then you could see it cluster and spike in the natural conditions. So they're getting 10 times more light when they're camping, and they're also not getting all this extra light. And it's pretty cool because you can see the campfire and you can see the moonlight. So I like that one. The last study I want to talk about is a lab study. So they had folks come in and sleep in a lab. They measured outputs of their metabolic system, and they measured sleep. So they came in and they slept in a dark lab room, and then they divided the folks in half. So half the people did the same thing again for night 2, and the other half slept in a room with 100 lux of light. So 100 lux of light is like pretty bad internal lighting, like a fluorescent light bulb with like one bulb missing or something like that. So it's pretty low light. And what they did is measure sleep and heart rate and insulin resistance the next morning. So what they found was these people in the light got poorer sleep. This is just one night, poorer sleep, and they got, their heart rate didn't dip at night as much, so the day-night difference in heart rate was lessened. And then they had higher insulin resistance the next day. So that's one night of sleeping with the light on. So you can imagine this accumulating over time in people, and this is sort of why this causes problems in shift workers and other people changing their schedule a lot. So circadian researchers are now trying to quantify this on a larger scale. Fernando mentioned a problem with using satellite data to do that. It's hard to get, which is that the circadian system is most sensitive to blue, and it doesn't pick up blue. So how do we figure out the impacts of health on a large scale when we're not even accurately measuring like what the system is getting? So we're working on that. There are several approaches, and it's definitely an area of interest, but it's a hard bridge to cross. But I will say that you can consider circadian biologists allies because we want the same thing, just for different reasons. But I like your reasons too. So I just want to encourage you to, if you can, get bright light during the day in the morning. If you can, do it at the same time and keep your schedule as regular as you can. And limit light at night. So every time you're gonna turn a light switch on, think, do I need this? Could it be dimmer? Could it be redder? Could it be on for a shorter amount of time? And just try to get less light in your night at night. Your health and sleep and all of that should improve. It'll save money, it'll save energy, and it'll reduce your impact on the organisms around you that are far more sensitive to light than we are, and we know we're sensitive. And also, go camping. Thank you.